guys for hopping on to watch my little episode. This is a recording about utilizing Facebook groups for lead generation. My name is Hallie McCrory. I am obviously a realtor like everyone else here. Two-time icon agent with EXP, coach for Tarek El Moussa's organization, host for American Dream TV. I'm also a young professional state leader on the Texas Agent Advisory Council for EXP. So very, very involved. I love EXP and just happy to give back. But I guess I'm most known out of all those things, actually, probably for selling 100 homes per year in a small town, around 100,000 people here. I'm in San Angelo, Texas. Also work Dallas part-time, but we'll be talking mainly about San Angelo because that's where my I think my best Facebook groups lie right now. So I guess if you could please, if there is a comment section while you're watching this, tell the audience and other people in the group what excites you the most about the possibility of generating leads on from Facebook, or maybe why it interests you. I think this is a good place to start off. I've personally loved this avenue for myself because I feel like it is a more everybody uses. Not everybody, but most people do use Facebook. It's targets a big range of age groups and different demographics. And so I think a lot of people do think it's overused, but I think specifically going for the Facebook groups avenue is a very underutilized form of lead generation. And I also love it because it's very easy to implement virtual assistants or regular assistants into helping you manage this and make it more of a passive lead generation strategy. And I, just the point of me asking for y'all to put that in the comments, I really hope that's some of your same excitement as well, and just incorporating something into your everyday life that you already use, most likely. So really diving into this, there are definitely a couple different ways to utilize Facebook groups for lead generation. But the two big overarching ways that I'm going to talk about are, number one, it's creating your own Facebook groups. And number two, interacting in other people's Facebook groups. So I'm going to start here with creating your own groups. So and we can, here's probably my most my personal branded real estate group. I actually recently changed the name on this, and I'll save that for later in our presentation. But so really, there's kind of two different ways you can start a Facebook group. So one, you can start it from scratch, and that's just going and creating your own Facebook group. There's all easy ways to prompt that on. Well, you know what? I'll show you guys. So if you want to create a group, we simply just go to groups and create a new group. However, I personally think, let me go back to my page. What I have done, the other way you can kind of create your own group is actually by purchasing or taking over, sometimes they'll give them to you for free, somebody else's Facebook group. And that's where I've really been able to, I think that is probably the better strategy, even if you're, totally changing the group topic, because you're already coming in with followers in the group. And if it's relevant to what you're going to be focusing on in your group, likely real estate, if it's people in the area, like let's say, so actually this group, I think I did buy this group. It had 4,000 members in it at the time. And I believe I bought it for $200. And so I've been able to grow it. But it was just a simple swap and sell, San Angelo swap and sell group. So it did have people in the group already, already in the area, already in San Angelo. And everybody at some point kind of focuses on real estate. So I was like, well, if they're not, clients now, I can convert them to become clients later. And everybody's kind of has some interest in real estate, at least here. I feel like, people are nosy and go to open houses and are following stuff, likely where you are too. So talking about maybe purchasing or trying to take over a Facebook group. So I started out on this process really before I ever even made my own groups or took over other groups. I started out by interacting in other people's Facebook groups, and I'll go into that later on what I would do for that. But as I would go through Facebook groups day in and day out, I kind of figured out maybe I would see some groups where there were a lot of uh, pending posts. The admin hadn't taken the time to either accept or decline all the posts that were sitting in there. And so you can kind of figure out, just like in real estate, there's ways to figure out, tired landlords. There's actually ways to figure out tired Facebook group admins as well. And that's probably the primary way, is seeing that there's a lot of built up pending posts. Things haven't been posted. And what I would do is just simply reach out to the admin and say, hey, I noticed there's a lot of pending posts built up. Are you, just busy right now? Or are you getting tired of running this Facebook group? I personally love managing Facebook groups. And if you would ever want to give it up, I'd be happy to take this group over for you. And I kind of, I would start off there, wouldn't talk about like maybe monetary number yet, but depending on what they say, no, I'm not. I've worked really hard in this group. Then that's maybe where I'd go into more of asking to purchase the group. And a lot of times people want less than what you think. But I think a good rule of thumb that I've kind of seen with people who actually buy and sell Facebook groups for a living, it seems like people typically sell them for about $100 per every thousand. For every thousand members in the group. But as they do grow, that number goes down a little bit more. So it's kind of like think about price per square foot. We're all real estate agents, right? The bigger the square footage on the home, if you're comparing, two different houses and one has a lot bigger square footage, that price per square foot is going to be a little bit lower. It's the same when you're buying these Facebook groups. So I bought one that was actually 34,000 people in it, and I was able to buy it from a professional seller for $600. So kind of give and take there. It really just depends, but I've also been able to take over groups for free this way. So, just really feel it out and have a conversation with the person just like you are with the client. So starting there. So some groups that would be good targets for you to potentially take over. Like I said, there's always a lot of swap and sell groups, garage sale groups. Small business groups is a great one, especially if you're looking to do some commercial real estate. A lot of depending on where you are in San Angelo, we're only a town of 100,000 people. So a lot of agents here also can do residential and commercial, but even if you don't do commercial, that could be a potential way to get referrals and have a commercial business partner that you work them with. So the small business groups, that's really good for commercial real estate because people are likely small business owners and maybe looking at leasing or buying commercial spots. Obviously, real estate and home related groups will be very much targeted to what you're trying to do, especially for residential real estate. And then the biggest one that has been, or I guess the biggest surprise one for me, has been job groups. But when people are looking at job groups for the area, it's likely, they might be moving from an outside town and moving to San Angelo, where they might need moving services as well and help finding real estate. So job groups have been very good for me to take over as well. Okay, so moving into our next little piece of, starting your own Facebook group. You really want to identify your target audience. So for me, being in a smaller area, I could keep it general with San Angelo real estate, and it pretty much stays all residential. I do have a separate commercial group, but mostly when people think of real estate, they think of residential. So things to think about for determining your specific demographics and preferences of your ideal real estate clients. So think, location, obviously, property type, whether you want residential or commercial, maybe budget of people. If you're in a larger area, it might be specific, like you might be able to niche down more into luxury or first-time home buyers. And then obviously you can get specific with buyers, sellers. I like to keep buyers and sellers together, but if you want to have like an investor group, that's another option as well, if you, specify in that or want to. So I actually, going back to, I changed, so before this was rent, sell, buy, San Angelo and Concho Valley. Concho Valley is kind of our broader area around our town of San Angelo. But I recently discovered TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy.com. I think I paid maybe $30 for the year to use it. I think there are some free avenues for this, but basically it's all about helping you. It's really supposed to be for YouTube, but I found that there is a keyword research aspect or feature in that TubeBuddy website. And I found that San Angelo real estate was basically covered 97% of what people search when they search for real estate in San Angelo. Everything else was probably anywhere from 85 to lower, and 97 was the highest I saw, and it was specifically for the term San Angelo real estate. So we do have a brokerage here, San Angelo real estate, but it's a very general term. I'm not going to let that get in my way. So I decided to name my Facebook group that, just for, I guess, potentially getting it higher on SEO. Maybe someone will find it on Google. And I also was able to change the settings to where people could find the group by just typing facebook.com/groups/San Angelo real estate. So just little trick there for helping you maybe optimize SEO on your Facebook group as well. So after you've either created or taken over your group, you want to, personally, I like to make it private. So there is an air of, suspense, or what's in this group. I need to be in it so I can see. And it helps with keeping out spam, and you really get to actually add, you can create welcome questions to your group. I'll show you I'll show you mine here soon. But that way, that kind of helps your lead generation funnels. So your next step is you're going to want to make a relevant description. So let me pull this out a little bit. Let's go to overview. No. Where's my description? Well, shoot, now I can't. Well, I guess here, I'll do another group I have. So we've got moving to Goodfellow Air Force Base. I don't know why I can't see this as group settings. I can show it to you from here. Name and description. So I put a resource for those moving to Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas, or already living here. Want a guide to our area? Reach out to admins for a free copy. So I add a little piece of value in there too. That always, helps and helps creating a lead generation funnel. So just going back to my other group, San Angelo Real Estate, you want to create some rules for everybody to follow, again, to really hone down on keeping spam out. So some ideas would be, no spam, keep content relevant, no hate speech to others, stay positive, and keep nice with everybody in the group. And another thing that I do that's kind of controversial is that I don't allow any other real estate agents in besides real estate agents that are on my team specifically. And I debated back and forth with this when I was creating this group, and because I didn't want to, make other real estate agents feel excluded or that I was being mean. But this really, at the end of the day, is a business asset. I paid for this group. I've worked hard to grow this group. I think of like this is something I could definitely sell again down the line. And I really think of this like a CRM. Like I wouldn't share my CRM with another real estate agent, right? This is the same thing. This is a business asset that this is like a CRM you have that I have, almost 7,000 members in. So I really think of it like that. And I haven't had any pushback or negativity from other realtors because of this. So don't let that discourage you. I like to make cover photos relevant to my business. For this one, since it's specific to real estate, I wanted people to feel a little bit more comfortable talking about real estate topics. And so I just made it a picture of a house. This is one that my husband built. So this is a picture that I own, but you could see in my other group that I had up before that I had a branded, you know what, I'll go back and show you guys that one. I had the cover photo branded to my real estate group. So get a free home buyers and sellers guide so they can message us for that. And then it has our phone number on there. And then anytime people create events, this is actually what comes up. So it's a little form of advertising as well. But since this one was so real estate focused and I posted it a lot, I just wanted it to be a little bit more approachable. So I personally decided to make it just a photo of a house, but by all means, make it an advertisement for you too. It's your group. Another feature you can utilize is our pinned post. So you can actually, so here's one, have questions about the home buying, selling process. Here's our group description. Dewan helps me manage this. Group by Empower Real Estate, brokered by eXp Realty. Post what you are selling, renting, or what you're in search of. To search for homes and properties, they've got my website and my vanity number for my CRM. You can see people are posting in this. Here I changed the name. This is all like recent stuff that we've done. So here I shared a price drop. I'm trying to find, I want to pin a certain one. So I had, and I want to show you guys this because this is one of my best performing posts. Give me a second. I should have had this up. Okay. So you can see here, 373 comments. I guess half of those are mine because I do reply, but this is where the true lead generation comes in. So this is a good post that you can honestly just totally copy from my playbook. I got this from another person's playbook. Hi guys, Hallie McCrory here. I'm the owner of this group. So I made it seem like I'm not a spammer. I'm looking for applicants for our renters to homeowners program. Requires 2 years employment. Doesn't have to be the same job. I put in there because San Angelo is a very affordable market here. And a lot of people are younger buyers or like our average price point's $220,000. So down payment assistance and zero down payment comes up a lot. But a lot of people don't know about these options. So I put that in here. Self-employed, also welcome. I just know that's an objection I get a lot. DM me or comment below if you'd like information. Stop renting and start owning. And I've been able to get what's 373 divided by 2. That's 186. So I've had 186 leads come through this. Put them into, I start messaging with them, put them into a funnel. Like I get their email, add them to my database, get them connected with a lender. So that's all a funneling process here. But since this is such a popular post for me, I think what I'm going to do is pin it to the top and mark it as an announcement. So as soon as people join the group, here we'll refresh it. That'll be the first post that they see. And I know this is a positive or like a one that's very popular. So that's another tool you can use. So how you can invite your friends, your Facebook friends to this group, of course. But what I did to grow this is I actually shared it in other San Angelo related groups. Let's see, I did a poll one as well that I wanted to show you guys. So sharing it in other groups and just saying, hey, I have a group I own a group that's all about real estate in San Angelo. If you have any interest, request to join our group and I'll accept you. This is another one that was really popular. I got 120 votes on it. I did utilize this at everyone feature where it will tag everybody. I did get one person message or comment and message that they didn't like that. And so, you know what, like, don't be afraid to take out people who are negative, because everybody else seemed to find it valuable. And I was able to get a listing appointment from this 121 votes. I went out and reached out to everybody. There's a couple people that aren't like, I basically reached out to them and said, hey, thanks for participating in my poll. I saw that you're thinking about, or, you know, that you'd like this for your home. Are you thinking about selling your home at all? My team has a lot of buyers in this neighborhood. And, you know, if they weren't ready to sell now, they kind of gave me a time frame. And I make note of that in my calendar. So that's another lead generation funnel you can use. And then even if they didn't reply or, you know, said they were not ready and not sure, you know, I said, well, hey, I've got a seller's guide for when you are. Send me your email and I'll email it over, so that I did collect their information. It's all about being able to collect information, provide value to people, and then, you know, following up with them in your database or in your group. I also like to encourage members to add their friends, or like when I make posts, I like to tell them to tag their friends. So, you know, and if their friends aren't in the group, when they tag them, you'll be able to tell. It'll have them in light gray with a little circular button with a little slash through it. I'll actually reply to the person and say, hey, you might need to message this to them. They're not in the group. Or invite them to the group, or I'll reach out to that person they tagged directly and said, hey, you got tagged in this in my group, but you're not in the group. Would love for you to join. And this is the post that you were tagged in. And everybody is very, nobody's like mad that I reached out of the blue, because it really wasn't out of the blue. They got tagged in something and I wanted to make sure they could see it. So ideas. So I just showed you 2 ideas of what you could post in your groups. But if you're already posting on social media, you could just make it a point to not only share your post on Facebook or Instagram, but also just put it in your, you know, your schedule of also posting it in your Facebook group. So I post a lot of my educational videos in here, updates on what listings we have, anything that would be relevant or provide value to the people in this Facebook group. Another good trick for you is to have your clients join your Facebook group and ask them to share their success story, a testimonial, a review. That just just helps you showcase your credibility and build authority, and just, again, provide more value. But there's a lot of spamming that goes on in Facebook groups. So just being able to show that somebody has used you and they had a positive experience, that just influences potential clients that much more. Okay, so second half, number 2, the other way you can utilize Facebook groups for lead generation is posting and interacting in other Facebook groups. So first step you're going to want to do is join any relevant groups. Definitely, you know, location wise, thinking about like your target area, any groups, especially obviously related to real estate, property investment, home buying or selling in your target area. But again, don't forget about those, the swap and sell groups. People post looking for realtors all the time in those, or for sale by owners a lot of times post in those. Again, job search groups related to your area, just general information about your area. Facebook groups, like we have one, San Angelo 411, that's a popular one here. Small business groups, and definitely events too, to find opportunities for networking. Next would be to actively participate in them and build some credibility. So that would look like engaging in group discussions, offering valuable insights. So again, always thinking about providing value, and sharing relevant content. Then you can also work on establishing yourself as an expert, kind of local authority, by providing helpful advice, any like even not even related to real estate, just any updates you see about your area in general. So like recently, I've shared in a couple groups um, a video I made spotlighting a local new restaurant. And I was able to share that because then people saw that I shared relevant information to our community, not only about real estate, but like a local business, and that I support that. And then people get interested and go and look at your page, and then they are able to engage with you and kind of learn or be able to kind of know, like, and trust you from there. So yeah, answering any questions that people have in groups, showcasing your knowledge of the local real estate market. I would say bonus points as well if you share any videos that you make. Videos very popular, as I'm sure you guys have all known, unless you're living under a rock. But really, I guess the mindset behind this is really thinking of yourself as a digital mayor. Instead of going out and shaking hands, kissing babies, you're just providing as much value as you can by providing information about your local market, real estate in general, or just events and what's going on and things to know in your local market. Some other ideas for you to share in groups would be informative articles, infographics, market trends, property listings, virtual tours, guides that help potential clients, maybe navigate the real estate market. So like you saw before that I advertise a free buyer and seller guides that people can, that I'll email over. And just make sure that all your content is educational and relevant to your target audiences, especially if you're trying to niche down into a certain group like investors or luxury properties, stuff like that. I think that's everything that I'm thinking of. Oh, and for property listings, where with EXP, if you don't know how to make a squeeze page on KV Core, you can look it up in YouTube. But if I'm sharing one of my or any property listings, I will create a squeeze page on KV Core so that if they look at the property and then start clicking around in the website, it will actually prompt for the person looking to enter their name and email at the very least. Sometimes they'll add in phone number as well, which is nice. But that way you can funnel these people into your CRM a little bit more easy, which is the idea about all this. We want to create more conversations and be able to add more people to our databases. So next way you can interact in other people's groups are running Facebook ads targeted at group members. You can organize virtual events within these groups, such as webinars or even like live Q&A sessions. And here you'd be able to just provide insights into the real estate market, discuss common concerns, basically sharing your expertise. And this just helps you even more so establish authority and attract potential clients. Next way to utilize these in other groups is, or I guess another thing to think about when you're making these posts is to always make sure that you have a call to action. So basically what I mean by this is that you're encouraging interested members of the group to reach out for more information, or it could be signing up for a newsletter, DMing you for a free buyer or seller guide, signing up for a free consultation, basically calling them to do an action. And by doing this, you want to engage promptly. So speed to the lead, nurture the leads by providing, personalized assistance and information based on their preferences. So definitely got to ask some questions there. And even so, I've started thinking, like, I have my buyer and seller guides, but I think what I'm going to do is make videos for these instead, because like I said, videos have become so popular. But hey, I've got a little 5-minute video that you can watch that's all about the process of home buying. That might be a little bit more, people might be more apt lead on to that call to action if it's just a 5-minute video versus, a 30-page buyer guide. So just something to think about there. And then last point is to use these for networking and collaborating with other agents too, or other professionals within the groups, building relationships. So when I say other professionals in the groups, it could be, mortgage brokers, home inspectors, lawyers, financial advisors, just basically trying to form mutually beneficial partnerships. And basically the idea behind this would be that you would be able to gain more referrals from these professionals, which would widen your lead generation network. So it doesn't necessarily, or these groups don't always necessarily have to be just about clients. It could also be about affiliates who could, helping you to widen your network a little bit more. So that's basically it, utilizing how we can utilize these Facebook groups for lead generation points. But I do want to say there's one little bonus point for both of these tracks would be to, I really want to encourage everyone to track and analyze their results. So create some KPIs for yourself, key point indicators, where you're regularly monitoring the performance of your activities, including ad campaigns and engagement metrics. Basically how many, if you like it, having this will help you reverse engineer your process. So, if I make this post, let's go back to this one. If I know, or we can actually use this. If I know, I put this post out and I tagged everyone and I got 121 votes. So I can tell myself, and out of 121 votes, how many people did I get to actually convert? How many actual closings did I have from this? And then how many leads did I get from this? So 121, how many people actually replied back to me at different certain points? So that way I know if I'm going to be, if I want to have 5 deals a month from Facebook groups, I know I have to make, a certain amount of this type of post in different groups. So that'll really help you to hit your targets and goals, and really to stay on track and give yourself specific goals, I guess, or action points you have to do to reach those goals. So yeah, that's basically it. And I guess if anybody has any other more specific questions on this, I know this was very high level overview. I've got my Instagram handles and social media handles down below my name right here, Hallie B. McCrory, or Empower Real Estate Group. No O or U in that group. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. But yes, love sharing the knowledge on utilizing Facebook groups for lead generation. And I hope this helps you to conquer this. Thanks.